started. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. This is Charity Kramer from Society of Pageant Women, and I am the CEO and founder of that organization. Today, I'm super excited because not only do I get to interview someone, but this young lady is amazing. Her name is Jasmine Jones, and obviously, you know who she is on the screen. It says it, the PrimpLife plan. She's the CEO and founder of that organization and business, and I get to interview her. Oh my goodness, how are you doing, Jasmine?
I'm doing great. I'm glad I got an event to do during quarantine, so I'm happy.
Yay. And I'm so excited to have you here. So I'm going to get started with a couple questions for you, icebreaker questions, just to relax you and make you comfortable with the interview. Gotcha. Alrighty, so if I gave you a hippo, where would you hide it?
A hippo. So like, a standard size, large hippo.
Mm-hmm.
The storage closet that's outside.
Okay. Cool. All right. If you were a donut, what flavor would you be?
Oh, a donut. The apple cinnamon one. They have like the apple filling inside and it's
that is good.
The cinnamon on top.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
So is that like, the fall cinnamon apple, like the ones that are dipped in apple cider? Is it like a different one?
No, I think Krispy Kreme sells them year round. But it's like, it might not be all cinnamon on top. I know it's like brown sugar, like powder, and then the cinnamon. Usually they sell it all year round. But I haven't had donuts in a while, actually. Man,
dang, you gotta go get a donut. What? Like, it's quarantine.
I mean, eating ice cream instead.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a good supplement. What's your favorite color of socks to wear?
Oh, actually, it's not even a color. It would be like a pattern. I have these pink Hello Kitty socks, and I'm like obsessed with Hello Kitty.
I used to love Hello Kitty. I used to have a Hello Kitty purse. Oh my goodness.
I have one too. It's like huge. It's like with her face, and it's like patent leather, and it has. Oh my gosh!
I think I had the exact same one as you, but we'll talk about that afterwards. All right, next question. If you were on a stranded island, what 3 foods would you take with you?
Ooh, all right. Let's see. Stranded ice cream. Ooh.
Oh, what kind of ice cream?
Oh, I think I would choose mint chocolate chip. That's my favorite. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but usually people
I'm not judging.
People are like, mint chocolate chip. That's my favorite one, but definitely ice cream. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Pizza, because I love pizza, and water. I'm gonna throw that option in there because deserted island might need some fresh water.
Mm-hmm. Okay, logical. If you were an animal, what would you be?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked this question. I love animals. I would definitely be a dolphin. Because reason being is because I've just always been so fascinated by them. They're very, very smart creatures, and they're very like caring in their own way. And the way they communicate, well, even with each other, but also with humans, it's so fascinating to me. And I love how smart they are and how gentle they are. So I'm definitely be a dolphin. And I think they have fun. They be looking like they have fun out there. They be jumping and stuff.
Yeah, they do have a blast. My husband actually told me a fun fact about dolphins, but it's like rated R, so I'll tell you after the video. Oh gosh. No. Alrighty, so now that you're relaxed and giggling and happy, let's go into learning about you. So tell us something about you that you want us to know, everybody watching.
Let's see. Well, something special about me. My organization, the PrimpLife plan, I've been doing it since I was 16 years old. A lot of people, don't know that, but I was able to co-author my first book at age 16 with my best friend. we wrote it in 1 week at a sleepover.
Wow.
Like literally, we had nothing to do. There was like, for some reason, there was no internet, no cable. And we just, and we just wrote that advice book for other teenagers. And that's kind of how my entire journey started, I feel like. And ever since then, I've just been on this path or this purpose to kind of inspire, other young girls, whether it be my age or younger than me, and just really on this women empowerment journey. I just feel like women are so powerful, and I just want to teach little girls to like dream big and have a plan and envision themselves doing something that they, would never really think to do, and not put themselves in a box. And so that's just been my life mission ever since that moment,
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about like who you are, like summarize, if you could summarize yourself in a paragraph, like what would you describe yourself as?
Okay. Well, let's see, I am very creative, of course smart, but a very creative person, and an introvert. I'm very like introspective and kind of to myself. I do have like I guess you can call it like my friend group and like my sister queens that I collaborate with, but I mostly just enjoy kind of being in my space, being able to create and write and make plans. Like I'm a notorious planner, organized to the T. It's so funny. I have like this, I guess you call it like a Google like calendar thing with like my whole like 3 years just of stuff to do. My friend is like, why would you plan 3 years ahead? But literally, like, it just makes me happy on the inside. So yeah, I would definitely describe myself as a creative planner who's a girly girl, really bubbly, love the color pink. Yeah, and that's kind of the basis of who I am.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of interesting that you said you're introvert, because when I watch you online, like you seem so comfortable, like talking to people and everything. You don't seem like an introvert at all.
That people say that a lot, when they meet me. And I think sometimes like people get like the word like introvert kind of confused with being antisocial. Like I'm friendly. It's just that I noticed that my energy kind of does better with like one-on-one conversations, or either like when I'm to myself. But I think that also has a lot to do with me being shy as well. I mean, I've grown a lot, but like when I was younger, I was super shy. Like I didn't talk at all.
Wow.
I know, but thankfully, I grew out of that, because there's nothing wrong with being timid, especially to all my like timid people that watch this interview. But you definitely want to grow out of that and find your voice. No matter how much you use it, you want to find it. And so I'm so glad I was able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of you being intelligent, I see you have a bachelor of science degree in fashion and textile management. So you wanted to be in fashion?
Yes, go Pack. I went to NC State University. That's my school.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so like ever since I was like 8 years old, I had wanted to be a fashion designer originally. That was my thing. And I used to do all these little, sketches of clothing and make all these little blueprints, if you will, of patterns and stuff, ever since I was little. And my parents will always encourage me about it, because honestly, some of my early drawings when I was like 9 and 10, they sucked, to be completely But my parents, they just kept saying, oh my God, that looks so beautiful. And I guess it just internally made me get better at it. And I never let that dream go until I got to college, because my plan was to, be a fashion designer, but I was going to get a master's in engineering. But I didn't know that you had to get a bachelor's in engineering.
Yeah.
Do your master's. I had no idea. I kind of just, I had my plan like I always do. And I remember I met with the director of the School of Engineering. He was like, that's not how that works. I was like, oh. But fashion design was not for me. The sewing part is kind of what deterred me. I do not like sewing. Very, very tedious activity.
Yes, it is.
I was like, I can't do this. But I did like presenting my idea, doing the research behind it, putting together like my mood boards and doing all that. And so I was trying to figure out, well, what major would still involve that, but allow me to still be creative. Because I thought about engineering and things like that, but I was like, I don't really want to be stuck in like a lab all day either. Because that might end up being like design, you know, where you're in like a studio. And then I discovered the fashion and textile management, but the marketing concentration. And I just fell in love. I figured out like what I wanted to do, but I never knew the name of it. So yeah, so that was my original interest in fashion. But I still love fashion. I still love clothes. I still love dressing up, love shopping. So
Wow. So what do you do now full time?
so now I work at a brand management company in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I help out Timberland's accessories. I do all pretty much their front end business things, and anything they need help with, I'm there to pretty much solve the problem. So that's what I do, and that's more on the analytical side, which is fine too. That can like stretch my analytical mind, but my passion is the PrimpLife plan, and that allows me to really dive into my creativity and really use those branding skills to my fullest potential. So
Yeah. So speaking of the PrimpLife, you compete in pageants, right? Do you still compete or kind of like pausing for a little bit?
I have paused, you know, because it can get expensive, and I was like, I really need to dedicate money I fundraise to my organization. It was like, we got to get this content out here. We got to get these books out and be able to do these workshops. And I mean, the whole world kind of went on pause with COVID. So I guess that, you know, worked out. But I still like involve myself in pageantry, like with my beauty queen talk and writing the little beauty queen tune and doing little workshops like for little girls and stuff. So I'm still pageant adjacent until I return.
Yes. Yes. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. You know, I kind of paused for a little bit. But what's your experience in pageantry been and how long have you been competing?
Oh man, it's so actually I started competing, I believe it was the journey in itself, as in when I said I'm gonna do this was July 2018. Or was it August? No, it was July 2018. And so I've only been competing, I guess, for about 2 years.
Oh wow,
But
so you're new.
yeah, I'm a baby in the pageant world. But you know what? It's always been something I wanted to do because I've always looked at pageants like on TV. You know, the Miss USA. Always known about Miss America, especially like within my hometown of Goldsboro, because I would see Miss Goldsboro during the parades and whatnot. But I always like saw it and was like, I want to do that, but I never really pushed for it. And I'm not really sure why. And it might be because I didn't really see a lot of myself in it at first. You know, and I didn't have anybody in my family that really did pageants. So it was just kind of like a foreign thing. But when I moved out and kind of got on my own, I was like, you know what? No, I want to do this. This would be a good thing. This can help PrimpLife. And I kind of just made the decision. And actually, I had a mentor. She was Miss North Carolina USA in 2010. You might know her. Her name is Nadia Moffett.
Huh. I know a lot of pageant queens, but you know, off the top of
It
my
all
head
runs
now.
together.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
she had an organization called the Queens Foundation. I actually like shadowed her organization for quite a bit when I was in college, and I saw that she went on that pageant journey, and she didn't even have a lot of pageant experience before winning a state title. She said she had did one pageant in college, and I was like, what? And you still won? I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this now. Like, of course. But you know what? After that, I did take the initiative. I found a coach and I worked with her all year. So from 2018 all the way to 2019. And my plan was to just do one pageant. I was, you know, just going to prepare for the North Carolina USA, but I ended up stumbling across the US international system, which I love. I love what they stand for. And I ended up placing 4th runner up in my first pageant.
Wow, congratulations.
You, yeah, and that was amazing, you know, and the women I met, and I really feel like I found my people when I started competing in pageants, because like, sometimes it's hard to find like your people that are kind of like similar to you. And I just find that every time I'm like involving myself in pageantry, I mesh with the women so well. And I was like, this is my people. This is my tribe.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's awesome. So you're brand new to pageantry, met somebody that mentored you essentially, competed, got fourth runner up on your first time, right?
Yeah.
And now you're growing PrimpLife. So like, was the additional like pageantry tune like already something that you were doing before you competed, or did you start that after you competed?
It was after the very first pageant, because after that first pageant, when I placed fourth runner up, I competed in another international system, the North Carolina International System, and that pageant was just a couple months later. So I just kind of dived right back in. I got third runner up for that one. But right after that, I pretty much did this workshop. It was called the Beauty Queen Workshop in my hometown, at my elementary school where I went to school at, North Drive Elementary. And it really came about because I was doing a lot of work in my like community and stuff in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And my she used to be my first grade teacher, but she's the principal of the school now. And she reached out. She was like, oh my gosh, I would love if you would come talk to my girls. And she just wanted me to like just do a quick little speech. And I was like, no, we got to make this like a thing. They really need to experience it. And so what I ended up doing was fundraising. We fundraised $300, which got all the girls like a pageant bag. And it was like tutus. I made them like sashes, tiaras. What else did we have? Like lip gloss, and we had them like some snacks. Like we had like sandwiches and fruits and cupcakes and stuff. And I pretty much taught them what it means to be a pageant queen on the inside, like as far as make sure you're kind, to your other students, make sure you're using your voice to help others to be positive and things like that. And then I got them to do like the outer beauty part, and we had a little photo shoot with their sashes and stuff. And after that, I was like, okay, I have to write a beauty queen tune now to mesh with the activity. And so that's where that came from.
Wow, you're so creative. I love it. It's like giving me life hearing it.
Thank you. It was so fun. Yeah. Oh my God, that made my day.
That is awesome. That sounds super fun. I kind of wish I was there, like a little girl in a tutu. I probably would have loved it. Like ate that up. Yeah. So, okay, it's 2020. Pageantry is still happening. You're not competing, but how do you feel about like the pageant industry adjusting or not adjusting to what's happening right now in the US with COVID?
I think they're trying, I think they're doing the best that they can. I've seen some pageant systems kind of go on pause and do virtual pageants. Like one of my sister queens that I know, like she's done several just like virtual things. And that's a nice adjustment. I really like doing things in person, especially events like that, because I just feel like that interaction kind of makes it what it is. And so I've seen like, they have the mask and from like other, beauty queens that I've talked to, they're saying like they have to social distance during like rehearsals. And so I think they're trying, their best. But the virtual pageants, though, that's a really good idea. And you know what? I was just talking about this with someone. It will increase kind of like the positive representation around the internet, because with the virtual representation, now pageant queens, we post pictures anyway, but now like you could post more.
Yeah.
You could show, you could do Zoom activities. And so that kind of fills the internet, makes it a little bit more of a safe space with all the stuff that's going on. So I think they're trying.
So would you compete in a virtual pageant before the end of the year?
I actually, I'm doing I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about it or not.
Oh, you don't have to say the name if you don't want to.
I won't say the name. I just, because I don't remember if it's on the contract they say I can talk about it or not. But it's like it's not necessarily a pageant, but I know a lot of the contestants, they compete in pageants, but they're kind of virtually showcasing like our lifestyles. So kind of different parts like community, fitness, the beauty aspect, like the outfits and things, but you're doing it like virtually. So everything is kind of, you know, filmed in your, whatever your safe space is, whether it be like a studio or if you're outside or, you know, whatever it is. And they're going to showcase it that way. So I've been participating in that. And honestly, you know what? I actually like it because you can, the preparation is a little less intense. You know, well, because you're in your own circle, and you could just, okay, well, let me re-record this, or
right.
you know, so it's a little more perfected, I would say, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for you? I know you basically said you kind of use pageantry to propel your business, and which is super smart. I love that. I love that as an entrepreneur, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have fun with this, but I'm gonna use it, you know, to expand my business. Like that's super smart. What's next for you? What's coming?
Ooh, we got lots of stuff. Let me see. What's next? Next is, well, actually, for like the new year coming up, like 2021, I've kind of revamped the calendar to be virtual because I just kind of feel like we're gonna go into shutdown mode again. You know, which is fine. You know, we have to learn to adjust and adapt. So I switched our whole calendar to virtual, which actually I'm kind of looking forward to kind of see and play with that. So our next big thing would be in January. It'll be like our virtual vision board workshop.
Ooh,
And
we're gonna have to collab on that.
You'll get the invites when it's ready, but essentially the idea, everybody will receive like a package with all their vision board materials, so you don't have to go and gather any of the things yourself. It'll all come in your own little personalized package, and we'll meet, you know, on a virtual platform like Zoom, and we'll create our vision boards together. And it's the idea of it is like each adult woman can bring like her mini me, whether that's her daughter, little sister, her niece, and we could kind of plan our year out together, which I think will bring a lot of positivity, because there's no need to stop planning just because the world is kind of chaotic. You can still have personal growth, you can still reach your goals. So that's our next big event. And then in December, I'm doing a toy drive with the United States of America's Miss North Carolina, Vera Morris. We actually collaborated on a couple stuff, but she's doing a social distancing toy drive. So it's like a trunk or treat, but it's for Christmas.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's the next collab. And then of course, I myself, on the behalf of PrimpLife, we're gonna, you know, donate a bunch of books and things like that to that toy drive. And we have one last little hoorah workshop. We have like a cosplay workshop coming up. You know, cosplay is just dressing up in costume. We finally got our official superhero costume. It's been a long time coming, but they are in the mail and they're shipping.
Yes, I love it.
So we'll be doing that, and that'll be fun because it's been a while since I've seen my spokesgirl since the COVID stuff. So we're gonna have to, still gonna be a little different because we'll have the social distance, but that's gonna be fun. So I can't wait for that.
I love it. You're just out here. You listen. We're gonna talk after this. We've been talking, but we got to get some things going. So
yes!
yeah, I'm super excited for you though. This is all great. One last question. What would you tell a young girl who's introverted, trying to get out of her shell, possibly looking at pageantry, but kind of on the verge of leaning towards no? What would you tell her?
Oh my gosh, I would like really be talking to myself. I would definitely tell her to absolutely go for it. You know, just what your inner fears and your inner doubts that you keep having, just don't listen to those. Just absolutely go for it. And when you're going to compete, or going for a pageant or even whatever it is, just remember how like great you are. Remember your self-worth. Because that's a lot of growing up. Like, I feel like that's the lesson I'm always trying to learn. Like, remember your worth, know your worth, and I would definitely tell a little girl that to, be herself, embrace her individual self and just shoot for the stars. So just to absolutely go for it. Even if she thinks this is not something I would do, she has to. Like, you have to do it. You have to go ahead and take that chance. And, you know, and she'll find her voice during the process. I grew so much with pageantry. It's so amazing. You know, I don't really know. Oh man, I really feel I tell this to my dad all the time when I talk to him about it, but like I feel like pageantry was literally like God put this in my journey, you know, in order to grow and in order to find my voice. I would definitely tell that little girl to go for it. Absolutely.
Yes. And I feel the same way. It's funny that you said that, because if I hadn't competed, Society of Pageant Women wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be here doing this, you know? So it is, like you said, it definitely is something that you don't really think about, but once you do it, you're like, thank you, God, for this. Or whoever, you know, people watching that might not believe in God, whatever you look to for hope, like, thank you. You just say, thank you for this, you know, because I really needed this and I didn't know. Sometimes you don't know you need something until you try.
Right. And then it happens. But yeah, all my shy girls, yeah, this would definitely help you like find your voice, you know. And it's okay to be an introvert, but you know, you just have to find your voice. Cause introverts, they just use their voice, you know, sometimes. They're not afraid to speak, but they just use it when they feel the need. That's all.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming on and sharing your experience, your story, having fun with me. I've
Yes,
had a
this was
blast,
so fun.
and I'm so honored to have you here. And congratulations on everything that you're accomplishing and continue to accomplish. And I'm super excited to follow your journey in your business and everything.
Thank you. I'm super excited to follow you. You know, I've been following you for a while. I'm so proud of everything you're doing and just bringing all of us together in this way. So thank you for having me a part of this. This is great.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty. So